Hello, I'm Ian Chapman. I'm the General Manager here at King Street Artworks. Today I'm going to show you how to make plastic look like metal. It's a great fun process and pretty straightforward really. So first of all we're going to be cleaning up the 3D print that I downloaded from Thingiverse. It's a print of Dr. Doom's mask, which obviously is metal, and it printed over about 18 hours on our Endo V2 Neo printer. So it's a bit of a chore cleaning up these things. Just a good pair of needle nose pliers and a bit of brute force and you can break the supports away pretty quickly. So we've cleaned up the sculpt now, and now we want to make sure the paint sticks to it. So we're going to use some plastic adhesion promoter, which you can get from any car paint supplies. I'm not sure if you can get it from hardware supplies, but you probably can. It's pretty straightforward stuff. It's about $25 a can, but it goes for a long way. And you can just see here spraying over the mask, both front and back, and it dries pretty quickly, like within seconds. Then I'm just going to use two paints, the burnt umber and the acrylic silver paint there. The burnt umber actually goes first. And when you're doing metallic paints, it's always a good idea to have a very dark colour underneath them. So I'm just going to hand paint this burnt umber. The reason we do that is because the silver just comes out and it looks more silvery if you have a black or a dark base. So bear that in mind when you start. It doesn't have to be brilliant, just slap it on there pretty quickly and just get rid of all the white as you can, front and back. So as you can see, I've painted the mask silver now on top of the burnt umber, and it's now going to be the highlight time. This is the first pass really of trying to make the thing look metal. If you look at metal, you'll notice that it does wear on the edges and it becomes shiny. So this is a silver marker pen, which is quite metallic, and I'm going to just pick out all the highlights with this pen, and it will start making the thing look a little bit more metallic as we go through. So I'm picking out all the rub points where things will naturally rub on the surface. There's a highlight there where there's a ridge or an edge. That's the place where you want to put all the kind of the highlighted or silvery silver on top of it. There's always a stage in art where you think, oh my god, that looks terrible, when you want to give up, but you've got to press through it sometimes and just work the process, because it will come right. There's stages of this and I think, oh no, this isn't going to work, but it will come right. So just patience is the key here. These pens you can buy from most stationery shops, or you can get them from your local model shops as well. They are designed for models really. They're pretty good pens. Now this is a part where I actually go overboard on the pen, get too carried away, which you can easily do, and that's the problem with weathering and making things look metallic, because you get so engrossed in it, you think, oh, add more, and it actually, you don't need to add more. I shouldn't have done that, and I will correct it a little bit later on. These two colours are burnt umber and burnt sienna, different shades of brown. I'm mixing them together, and these are going to be the main weathering colour. They're pretty straightforward colours to use, and I'm going to use this liquid water-based finishing varnish. This is pretty cool stuff to use. It basically is like a paint without the pigment, and you can just mix it into the paint, and it thins the paint right down, because we don't want it heavy painted like that, or heavy pigmented like that on the model. So you can see I'm just thinning it right down, and I'll check it, and then I will just liberally apply it to the mask. Tissue's handy to have here, because you're going to get you want to use those to take off the paint. Liberally covering the whole model with the brown paint and the varnish there, just getting it into all those grooves really thick. It's good fun, this part. I really enjoy this part. Now don't be afraid to take the tissues and take the paint off, and it will leave paint in the crevices and the grooves, and it will show some of the silver highlights through again as well. So it starts looking a bit more realistic, which is what we're after here. Just enjoy the process again. So this is what I was talking about by correcting mistakes. So I did go a bit overboard with the silver pen on the forehead there, so just knocking it back with a bit of burnt umber. So on this pass I am using burnt sienna, which is the reddy brown there you see, and going around the rivets, and that just makes a bit of a rusty look around those rivets. Gives it a bit more depth. So one of the things you can buy for model making and for weathering is weathering powders, and they are hideously expensive, and you only get tiny amounts in these little kind of trays of them. But I found that if you use chalk pastels, they're cheaper and they go for a lot longer, and they're the same effects. So I'm using, as you can see, browns, different shades of brown, including a reddy brown there, and just using a knife to scrape it all over the model. Not a lot of it sticks to it, but what does, it makes the model just pop a bit better, makes it look a little bit more aged. So it's a really cool process, and very, very cheap if you do it that way. I wouldn't recommend going to buy weathering powders, they're too expensive. And this is the final beauty shot. As you can see, it looks pretty cool for being a piece of plastic. So have fun and enjoy the process.